Okay, so my wife wants to tell you about tire depth. Go ahead, dear. Hey guys, welcome back. So today, finally gonna change that fender, driver's side fender. I don't know if you remember what it looked like. I think I should have a photo. I should insert it here somewhere for you. So when I bought the vehicle, I was told that the garage door came down on the hood and the fender, or the bonnet and the fender for the West Indians. And so I replaced the hood bonnet. And now it's time to replace that fender. Already out of breath. Whew. Getting old. Let's get it. Wheel is off. Car's jacked up, supported. Now time to start exploring. So I know the fender liner has to come out because I know there's one bolt that is holding the fender, the lower end of the fender close to the door, and that's covered by the I'm hoping I don't have to remove the bumper, but I believe if I do, they're just 4 bolts. The headlight might need to come back out, and then there are a bunch of bolts on top, and then one inside the driver's door. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. The fender liner has to come out because there's one bolt down here somewhere. So I'll just take the whole liner out. It's got to come out because there are 2, I believe, bolts here. Like I said, I'm hoping that the bumper doesn't have to come off, or the headlight. I'm hoping that doesn't have to come out. Then there's this, 2, 3 up here, and there's one right here. There's another one in here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's got to be done from inside the wheel well. So I don't believe you guys came to see me. You came to see some work. So let me shut up and get this thing done as quickly as possible. I've got some editing and a few other things to do. T25. Okay, so this is inside the wheel well. You have more screws that hold the belly pan and the bumper lip. So the front of the wheel well liner looks like that. Christian Smith, no lie, look at this. Like, this is soaked full of water. All of this is just garbage that's sitting here, probably making this rot out from the inside. You weren't kidding when you said that that area is full of crap. Look at this. But for real though, like, why? all down in here. The sponge that sits in there as well, I removed, put it off to the side to dry. Man, what a design. 10 mil. There's also a plastic piece in between the door and the fender. So just perspective, that's the door right here. So this is the inside of the fender. I pulled the bolt that was at the top, that's a 10 mil. I see another one here, that's looks like a 10. And then this one here looks like a 10 as well. And then I believe we'll go to the top and see about removing those. Alright, so toward the front of the car, you've got to remove the fender from the bumper. And then I believe we can get to this bracket and remove the bolts, I believe, that go into the fender. Two 10s under there. All right, to the top. Just like that.
Just like that.
So this was what I was talking about. There were two 10s here, as well as that bracket. That bracket is in the way, so you've got to remove that bracket to get to the two 10s up here. Anyhow, a little bit of light rust. Look, there's still crap in here. Ugh. Oh, it's starting to peel. Always start hand threading first. If you don't, and you use your gun or your ratchet, you might cross thread. Chances of cross threading are much higher. And then you'll have a really bad day. Okay, so these up here are tight. Now I am going to do the inner fender, the fender between the door and the fender, and try to make sure that that alignment is right. So far the bottom is great, the front by the headlight is great, the bumper is great. So now it's just the upper part of the door, and then to close the hood and make sure that the hood and the fender have a proper gap. Gap is not bad. Perfect along here. This is a little high for me, so I might have to massage that down a bit. That's not too bad here. Could be a little bit better, but I think this needs to be folded down a little. And then if you follow the gap, pretty even. Maybe this last area could be adjusted a little bit more, but the door is fine. It opens and closes and doesn't contact. Whoever last worked on the car didn't put these back properly. And now I've got to fix them because I'm just crazy like that. You would be fine if it was left alone, but we're already here, right? Don't forget your wheel hanger. Alright, so while I was putting everything back together, I figured, you know what? Might as well change over to summer tires. I mean, why destroy the winters when you need them for winter, right? The difference between the winters, if you're not aware, is they're a softer compound, so they can grip the ice and the snow much easier than the summers. The reason that the summers are harder, well, you have different levels of summer tires depending on what kind of driving you're doing. If you're doing spirited driving, then you want them to be sticky. So you want them to be soft to a certain extent. But in any case, I was asking my wife, should we change the winters over to summers? She said yes. So we got into this conversation about winter tires, and she said, well, why don't you show people the difference between summers and winters? So then we got to talking about directional tires. Yeah, there she is right there. Anyhow, what I did was I took her over to her tires and quizzed her. And this is basically what I showed her. So I asked her if these are winters or summers. And of course she was a little confused to begin with, but see that emblem here? That's an upside down mountain. Snowflakes? They're all over the tire to let you know that they are winter tires. Not to mention, these say winter contact. So she eventually found that these are directional tires. So the question for you guys is, do you know why we have directional tires? So there is a bulge in this tire, and I guess the salt has gotten to it as well, so now you can see it stretching. This is very bad because this can blow out at any time. So if you're on the highway, or freeway for the Americans, and this blows, could be catastrophic depending on your driving skill, your speed, the cars around you, your reflexes, and so on and so forth. So this needs to be changed out. This tire cannot be used again for another season. So goodbye, tire. Okay, so my wife wants to tell you about tire depth. Go ahead, dear.
So there's like this bar inside the tires. That's it right there. And when your tread gets down to there, like if it's flush, you need to get rid of the tire. You need a brand new tire for sure. But there is another way to tell, but we don't have that tool. Okay? He doesn't have that tool.